Hello, great job finishing your reading work today. If you did not get a chance to finish your introduction paragraph, you can re-watch the video later or go back to where you were to work on it ready for tomorrow. We are going to start our math lesson now. And just like when I'm with you in class, we are going to start our math lesson with our do now. I'm going to read the problem and then you guys are going to work it out and put your answer into the response bar in the video. Remember that with math, we always want to be showing our work in our notebook. So before we start, make sure that you have a pencil and paper ready to show your work. 12 friends went camping. All except 4 of them went on a hike. The hikers carried 32 bottles. Each hiker carried the same amount of water bottles. How many water bottles did each hiker carry? I'll read it again. 12 friends went camping. All except 4 of them went on a hike. The hikers carried 32 water bottles. Each hiker carried the same amount of water bottles. How many water bottles did each hiker carry? Now, take your time showing your work in your notebook, and when you have your answer, you can enter it on the next screen. So you may have noticed in our do now, we had to follow more than one step to be able to answer the question. Today, we are going to be working on problems where we have to do more than one thing to be able to solve it. So it's kind of a hidden problem within the problem that we have to solve first. I'm going to be showing you 2 problems and you guys are going to be helping figure out those steps, and then you will need to do one on your own before you do the same question that you did for your do now as your exit ticket. Today, it is very important that you follow along in your notebook and practice the strategies that I'm showing you so that you can use them in your own work. You guys have been doing great work with multiplication and division. We've made lots of progress this year, and this is our next step. Now we're challenging ourselves using everything we've learned and solving 2-step problems. So, our problem today. Emily bought 2 bottles of water. Cullen bought 2 packs of water with 3 bottles in each pack. How many bottles did they buy in all? A strategy that I can use to help me figure out this problem is I can create a visual. So Emily bought 2 bottles of water. So I'm going to draw 2 bottles of water. And I'm going to put an E there for Emily. Cullen bought 2 packs of water with 3 bottles in each pack. So he didn't buy 2 bottles, he bought 2 packs. And each of those packs had 3 bottles. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So now I'm thinking, what do I need to do to be able to solve this problem? First of all, I need to find the number of bottles of water that Cullen bought. So this was Cullen right here. He bought 2 packs with 3 bottles in each pack. So I've got 2 groups of 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. This is not what the problem asked me. The problem asked me how many bottles they bought in all. So now I need to do my next step. I know that Cullen bought 6 bottles of water. And now I am thinking, what were the number of bottles that they bought altogether? Well, now I need to bring the bottles that Emily got and add those to the ones that Cullen bought. So now I'm going to do 6 plus 2, and they have my answer, 8. Emily and Cullen bought 8 bottles together. Remember, when we have a real world problem that has a sentence, we are going to answer in a sentence. Rather than just the number 8, we are saying Emily and Cullen bought 8 bottles all together. Now we have another one. For this one, you guys are going to follow along with me, just like you did for the last one, but you are going to need to answer some of the questions in between. So make sure you've got your pencil and paper, that you're thinking carefully, focusing, and showing all of your work in your notebook. Juan and Alba bought supplies for the class party. Juan bought 3 bottles of juice. Alba bought 2 bottles of the same juice. Juan and Alma together spent $15. How much did each bottle of juice cost? So I'm going to, before I start, record important information. I'm going to write down that they spent $15 is what they spent. And I'm going to write down Juan, 3 bottles, Alba, 2 bottles. I don't need to write the whole word bottle. I'm just doing the letter B to represent it. So I've written here they spent $15. Juan bought 3 bottles. Alba bought 2 bottles. What do I need to do before I can answer this question? First of all, I need to find the total number of bottles. How many bottles did they buy in all? To do that, I need to do 3 bottles plus 2 bottles. Go ahead and work out how many bottles did Juan and Alba buy altogether. You should have written the answer 5, because when we do 3 plus 2, we get 5. So now I know that altogether they bought 5 bottles. Now I need to think, well, how much did they spend on each bottle? So I need to take the $15 they spent and divide it between the 5 bottles. Or I could be thinking 5 bottles times how much for each bottle is going to give me a total of $15. This is exactly the same as doing 15 divided by 5. Go ahead and solve this equation and find the number that would go in either of the blank spots to make them correct. You should have written down 3 as your answer. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And you could have used skip counting, drawing groups, or drawing arrays to help you. This problem you are going to solve on your own. I will read it, then you're going to solve the problem and write your answer in the next part of the video. The 21 students in Jamie's class were at summer camp. 14 of the students played soccer at a park. The rest went to a crafts class where each student painted 2 pots. How many pots did these students paint? Show your work. The 21 students in Jamie's class were at a summer camp. 14 of the students played soccer at the park. The rest went to a crafts class where each student painted 2 pots. How many pots did these students paint? Show your work. Now I'm going to show you the solution to this problem. Follow along and check that you got the same answer as I do. If not, think about where did you go wrong and what could you do differently next time. So first of all, I'm going to write down the 21 students in Jamie's class were at summer camp. So to represent this, I'm just going to write down 21. 21 students. 14 of them played soccer at a park. So 14 of them played soccer. The rest went to a crafts class where each student painted 2 pots. How many went to the crafts class? So the first thing I need to do is I need to find out what goes in this circle that went to the crafts class. Well, I can do that by doing 21 subtract 14 because 14 went to soccer and everyone else went to the crafts class. 1 subtract 4, I can't do it. 11 subtract 4 is 7. 1 subtract 1 is 0. We should get that 7 people went to the crafts class. Now I can decide how many pots they painted because I have 7 people. Each of them painted 2 pots, or I could say 7 times 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Remember, I should have my answer in a sentence, so I should say, they painted 14 pots. Great job if you also got that answer. If you didn't, think about what you could have done differently. Now that you've had some practice with the 2-step problems, we are going to be doing our exit ticket. This is the same problem as at the beginning of the lesson. Remember, you should be using the strategies from the lesson, drawing pictures, writing down important information, creating equations to help you with this problem. Think carefully and make sure you are thinking about the steps that you need to complete to be successful. 12 friends went camping. All except 4 of them went on a hike. The hikers carried 32 bottles. Each hiker carried the same amount of water bottles. How many water bottles did each hiker carry? Great job completing today's math lesson. Make sure that you do your independent work this afternoon. You have your social studies work, your math independent lesson on Canvas, and for reading, you do not have a Canvas lesson. So if you didn't finish your introduction paragraph, make sure you finish it. If you've already done that, then you have extra time today because you do not have a reading lesson to do. I will see you guys tomorrow. I miss you all. Bye.